Virginia Tech won the toss, elected to defer. They kick off, and Cal begins at the 25-yard line. We check in with Paul Carcaterra.
You know, Anish, Cal has two superstars on both sides of the ball, and freshman quarterback Jaron Songapolatelli and veteran linebacker Cade Uluwave, and they feed off each other. JKS mentioned to me he caught up to the speed of the college game in fall camp because of the aggressive nature of the Cal linebackers and the history of great DBs. It made him, as a signal caller, read and react quickly. And Cade told me JKS is a flat-out baller. He makes throws that have him saying, "What in the world was that?"
On first down, they had the tight end lined up and running back. Virginia Tech gets home. The sack by Kamari Copeland.
That's what inner Sandman will do to a defense, and why they like starting on defense in these parts. Just kind of a jailbreak in terms of pass rush up front for Virginia Tech, and they're able to get home. The big fella defensive tackle Kamari Copeland able to get there, and this is where Cal does not belong, nor where they want to be, behind the sticks here early.
It's a quick check down for Kendrick Raphael, who's blown up by Isaiah Brown Murray. Helmet comes off for IBM. By rule, he has to come out for a play, but it's 3rd and long for Cal.
Well, he has been sound this season. Excellent man-to-man coverage. And you talk about a good tackling cornerback. Only 5'9", but 192 pounds, and he will come up and strike you.
It's a Virginia Tech defense that's been hit hard in the secondary and at linebacker due to injuries and opt-outs. The freshman in trouble, and he's got to throw it away. Pressure by Kelvin Gilliam, one of the leaders up front for Virginia Tech.
Gilliam is a team captain, and what's concerning, if you're Justin Wilcox or Brian Harsin, the offensive coordinator, is that Virginia Tech early on getting pressure with the two interior defensive line. Gilliam and Copeland both getting home early in this game. That spells not so good for Cal.
Brooke Honore to punt. Isaiah Spencer waits near midfield. Line drive, rugby-style kick, and it dies in plus territory. That's where Virginia Tech takes over. So this team, which is 2-5, they've gone through a coaching change. They have Philip Montgomery at the helm. He was the offensive coordinator, former head coach at Tulsa. And they've got a quarterback in Kyron Drones. Listen, Andre, he had that great season 2 years ago. Everybody thought he would take off. He's been inconsistent and erratic, but when he plays well, he gives this team more than a chance.
Yeah, he is an awesome dual-threat quarterback that reads things well, gets the ball out of his hands well. 60% passer coming into tonight's game. He can distribute it well, and he takes care of it, Anish.
Short field to begin the drive, and on first down, the handoff to Marcellus Hawkins, whose lone scholarship out of high school was from Division II Central Missouri.
Runs hard and contributes both in the run game and the passing game. Excellent in protection, and he's a good, solid receiver out of the backfield as well for Virginia Tech.
Here's the toss. Hawkins gets a block from his tight end, Gosnell, and leapfrogs for a first down. This is a Virginia Tech team. They can run the football. 5th in the ACC in rushing. Cal's strength is its secondary, and what Tech wants to avoid is those 2nd and longs, 3rd and longs, those passing situations.
And as well, the defensive line, they struggle to protect Drones this season. He's the most pressured quarterback in all of college football.
Running the speed option. And that's 6'2", 240 coming downhill. And it's the safety, Aiden Manutai, with the tackle.
Or should I say, when he's in the pocket, he is pressured beyond belief. And they're going to have to do a pretty good job. They feel like, though, tonight they have their best 5 in the lineup.
Drones takes a shot. He wants Aiden Green adjusting. And a touchdown for Virginia Tech.
Aiden Green, they like him down closer towards the red zone, but some play he made there on a pretty good cover man there, Brent Austin, who had a great game against North Carolina a week ago, but they target him first in the passing game, and they're able to get home for 6 points.
Green has emerged as their top receiver, a junior from Knoxville.
This is not a team that is what its record says it is.
The extra point by John Love, who will be kicking on Sundays, is good.
Drones with the play fake, and he puts it in the air for his receiver, Aiden Green. It's 6 points, Virginia Tech.
This season, their defense pinned Cal back. A short field led to a touchdown pass from Kyron Drones to Aiden Green, 27 yards.
Drones heard all that talk about a freshman quarterback coming to town. He's like, hey, we got a pretty good quarterback right here in Blacksburg, Virginia. And he shows us on his first pass completion of the night.
The NFL scouts and the people in college football see the talent of JKS, but he needs help from his wide receivers.
Got to have Jacob DeJesus catch the football. A bunch of drops. Bag full of drops last week in that game against UNC, and Cal had to fight to hold on to win that baby, 21-18. But they can't have that here tonight. You've traveled all the way across the country. That's got to be held accountable. You've got to catch the football. 6 big-time drops in that game against UNC last week.
It's been a season-long issue. First down, that throw incomplete. May have been tipped. He wanted DeJesus, who was targeted 19 times last week.
Yeah, usually really decisive with the football. There he kind of double clutched it and really wasn't sure. So I'm not sure with Virginia Tech, the look they showed him, but he kind of padded, pulled it back in, and by the time he went to DeJesus, it was too late.
Second down and 10. Raphael, the running back. Trying to move the pocket, pressure again, and there's another drop. That's Jordan King. It's third down and long. QB pressure coming from Isaiah Cash, the nickel.
Yeah, versatile. He can play multiple spots in the secondary, and that's just straight up 3-deep zone. But because of the pressure by Isaiah Cash, it just kind of fogged things up for JKS and wasn't able to get that one accurately to his receiver.
Hokies showing blitz. Here they come. Sangapolitele hit, able to complete. Raphael changing directions and is met by Woodson well shy of the marker. Fourth down. And it's another 3 and out for Cal. So Andre Cal came into this game with the worst rushing offense in the ACC, one of the worst amongst Power 4 teams in the nation. They've come out throwing it. Virginia Tech's been all over JKS with pressure.
Well, it was one of the things that this Virginia Tech defense wanted to do was make Cal one-dimensional, take away the run. They're not even trying it yet with Raphael, but they are one-dimensional, kind of in their own way, or so to speak.
Spencer. Pretzels to the 25-yard line. 53-yard kick. 10-yard return. Hokies back on offense. Dominoes fall. It's probably not going to be at Virginia Tech for Philip Montgomery. He should get a look somewhere.
He's a heck of a football coach, one hell of a leader, and just a guy I have a tremendous amount of respect for, and he has got this team in its current state competing their tails off every single weekend.
They won their first 2 after the coaching change. Flag.
False start. Offense number 56. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Laith Gannum, the left guard. Third straight week, third straight game. Virginia Tech had a bye where they've had the same offensive line combination. But for both these teams, it's been a struggle on the O-line.
Yeah, it really has, and it's one of the things that Philip Montgomery told us, is that they have to stay on schedule. Well, you're off schedule when you're 1st and 15.
They give it to Terrion Stewart, who came in averaging almost 8 yards per carry when he's been healthy, and that's been an if.
Yeah.
He's been very productive.
Yeah, he's really good when healthy. He's, you know, good at in the pass game as well. Big-time playmaker and just tough as nails to bring down. Runs with an angry streak at times.
They call him the Bully, a nickname he earned in high school. Fake toss, now a late toss. That's why they call him Bully. Ran over one, and like an anvil on wheels, gets close to a first down. And he's got enough.
There are some guys that have the ability to make the first guy miss. This is just strength. You know, push him out of the way, make the next guy miss by sidestepping him, and then find your way to the first down marker. That is excellent work on the part of Stewart.
Transfer from Bowling Green, where he was first-team All-MAC last year. Right back to Stewart in the teeth of that defense. Kark?
It's the real Bully, Anish. And in high school in Ohio, in Sandusky, he was running over defenders, punishing them on the way to touchdowns. His high school quarterback gave him the nickname the Bully. He's actually a rapper on the side, and his name, The Real Bully. And I've heard his music is great.
So he's got the rapping alter ego.
Yeah, you got to get with the rap game. It's The Real Bully.
From Sandusky, Ohio, the home of Callahan Auto Parts. That's a strike to midfield, and that's a catch. Cameron Sheldon, who played running back at Tennessee.
Yeah, he is a weapon. This is a guy, they love his size and speed. They'll run him on, you know, end arounds, quick screens, tunnel screens. They just try to get the ball in his hands because he's so electric once he has it and he's in open space.
Drones 2 for 2. Sheldon in motion. Hawkins. Wipers through the Cal defense. Finally brought down by Drew Polidor, a gain of 20.
I love the unselfish play of Cameron Sheldon, who just caught a pass, and he's going to come right near your screen, getting a block for his man Hawkins. Love the stuff on the outside when guys kind of clean it up and turn a minimal gain into a big one.
Justin Wilcox, the Cal head coach, telling us the personnel for Virginia Tech does not match the record. Drones in trouble, and wisely throws it away.
That is growth. That is experience. Get yourself outside the tackle box and then make sure that the ball gets back to the line of scrimmage. All those things are checked. Therefore, we don't have an intentional grounding penalty.
Josiah Wagner with the pressure. Oklahoma transfer.
Excellent start to this game for Virginia Tech.
They keep it on the ground. It's Stewart. Hammers inside the 30 to set up a third down.
They've got a nice 1-2 punch, don't they, with Stewart and Hawkins. Stewart came in, you mentioned averaging just under 8 yards a carry, and Hawkins right there just under 6 yards a carry. Both guys highly productive, though they get it done with different styles, but both make it work within this offense.
In their last game against Georgia Tech, third down was a struggle. Incomplete for Isaiah Spencer. It's fourth down, and the special teams under Frank Beamer all those years was a weapon for Virginia Tech. John Love is a weapon. How many times do coaches get on the call with us and talk about a kicker being a locker room leader? That's how they talk about Love.
Yeah, they have a lot of respect for him. He's been one for this program for a long time, and he's hit some big kicks in his career here on campus. Just a junior, has another season to play.
A 46-yarder?
No problem.
With plenty to spare. 2 drives for the Hokies, 2 scores. 10-0 Virginia Tech. has a couple of big trips left. Virginia Tech this week, then they still have to go to Louisville and back. They got to Blacksburg Wednesday night, and Justin Wilcox kept his team on a Pacific time schedule.
I can't tell. They look like a team freshly off an airplane from California, over 2,700 miles flown. And, you know, you look at what they should be doing here in this game. You know, Virginia Tech gives up about 150 yards a game on the ground. That's where I would think you would access right away. Try to run the football.
Time for a quick word from Verbo.
As your host, I have some rules. First, no showers longer than 5 minutes. This isn't a spa. That's the rule.
Meanwhile, at a Verbo, get the vacation you expect and never a hovering host.
He's so good in those. So good in those commercials.
6 plays, -5 yards for Cal. And Kendrick Raphael picks up 4.
And it's what will keep this Cal offense on schedule. You run Raphael, you've got a healthy offensive line, guys that are healthy enough from 1 week to the next. I would keep calling his number for a minute and get things settled in here offensively.
Screen pass, Jacob DeJesus. Second in the ACC in receptions, and he zigzags for a first down. 19 targets, 13 catches last week.
You get 4 yards on first down in the running game, and you show the run again.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense number 97, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Emmanuel Hickman. This is what Virginia Tech wanted to avoid. We talked to them about this.
Yeah.
It showed up against Wake Forest. A couple of penalties like this, extending drives, extra yardage, free yardage.
Well, all that success on that play to DeJesus, all of it was set up by the running game. Then you go play action and a quick hitter to DeJesus. Everybody was trapped inside. A lot of room to wiggle out on the edge for him.
Low snap. Raphael able to make chicken salad and gets to the 41.
This offensive line, you think they want to get themselves integrated into this game early? That's exactly what they want to do. And how do you do it? The quickest way is in the running game. They can fire off. They can just go hit somebody, which is what they think about most of the majority of the day, let alone 60 minutes in a game.
DeJesus, the motion man. It's Raphael stuck behind his own lineman. And the NC State transfer is going to be close to the first down marker. Andre Raphael's going to have to carry a bigger load because running backs 2 and 3, LJ Johnson and Brandon High both out today.
Yeah, the A&M SMU transfer, and LJ Johnson, he's out. Brandon High, who's a UTSA transfer, he's also out. So they get very inexperienced in a hurry behind Raphael. Anthony Lee along with Dean Taylor Chapman, 2 guys that don't get a whole lot of playing time. We may see Anthony Lee here pretty soon.
Screen pass, guess who? DeJesus. Twirling and tornadoing all the way to the 22-yard line. 15 more for the UNLV transfer.
Boy, is he dangerous with the ball in his hands. Again, the play action, showing it underneath to Raphael. That gets everybody flowing with the football, and then he's able to make one guy miss and off to the races on the 2nd and 3rd levels of Virginia Tech's defense.
Only Lewis Bond of Boston College has more catches than DeJesus in the ACC. And they go right back to Jacob DeJesus. Flag at the very end of the play after a gain of 8.
Yeah, he was passed 1 yard down the field. He being Mason Minnie.
Offense number 85, 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
And then got caught for a hold as well. He's one heck of a player in his own right. He came to college at about 205 pounds and has really added a bunch of weight, 35 pounds to be exact. You'll see him out in space working against one of the linebackers for Virginia Tech. Actually, it's Reddish, one of the secondary players, who he kind of wraps up pretty much. That one's going to be hard for the officials to ignore. You can't even argue the call.
Benny transferred in from Idaho. Raphael finds a crease.
Well, that gets all the penalty yardage back and then some. You talk about getting right back on schedule. That's exactly what Cal's able to do. Tyson Ruffins, the center, with a nice wall-off block in the middle of the formation. He's playing some really good football inside for Cal.
Before the drive, you said go to the run. It's worked here for Cal. Jesus in motion. RPO. Little shovel pass. And a first down. There's the tight end, Minnie. Down here, Cal likes to use the tight end. The flag is down.
There's so many off-schedule passes, things of that sort, plays that Sangapolitelli will make.
An eligible player downfield. Offense number 56. 5-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
That's Tyson Ruffins, the center, who made the block for Raphael right up the middle to get him to second down and short. And all of a sudden, he puts him right back in harm's way as you get off schedule as quickly as you got back on schedule.
We see that often when RPOs take too much time.
Guys release, they want to go block somebody. They feel like the time has passed where the ball should have been out already.
Raphael twisting to the 15. Saw DeJesus there lined up at running back. He can line up pretty much anywhere.
They line him up anywhere. They'll motion him around. They'll bump him out. He's just a guy that they like to get him the football from a lot of different angles, a lot of different places. Virginia Tech trying to get something changed tonight. All of their opponents have scored in 27 to 27 when they get down in the red zone, trying to turn Cal away here.
Quarterback draw. It looked like 55. Leon Bell, the right tackle, jumped.
Ball start. Offense number 55. 5-yard penalty. It's still third down.
This has been a theme for Cal too this season. Ill-timed penalties.
Yeah, he's right on the edge, and this flinches just a little bit of an early start there. Got to have him hold his water. His high school playing a big game tonight. Clear Springs. That's his high school happens to be my high school.
DeJesus in the backfield. Blitz coming. Sangapolitelli in trouble. It's incomplete. Jordan Bass on the safety blitz.
And that's one thing this defense will do to you. When they get you in long yardage situations, they will bring the pressure. And it's coming right off the right side of the Virginia Tech, or excuse me, the Cal offensive line. Able to get there with speed and take away the ability to scan the field for JKS.
A 38-yard field goal for Chase Meyer.
And you could see the offensive coordinator, Brian Harsin, telling him, come on, man, you got to pick that up. You got to see it, and the ball's got to come out.
And Meyer keeps it inside the upright, and Cal gets on the board. For 20 years, Allstate has celebrated every field goal and extra point made at participating universities by donating to the university's athletic scholarship fund, supporting all student athletes. Thank you to Allstate Friday night, Lane Stadium in Blacksburg, and most of the conversation around Virginia Tech these days is who will be their next head coach. You look around, Andre, 2-5 team, almost a packed house. We saw the fans out in full force. Whoever the next guy is going to be at this place,
gonna have fan support, that's for sure. And a lot of fans around this area. There's plenty to recruit in the state of Virginia and the DC area. They're I mean, it's ready-made for winning, and the facilities we can see off to our left are second to none. This is just kind of a sleeping giant waiting on the right coach to come in and awaken it.
Talking to some people earlier today, you get the sense they are about to open up the pocketbooks. They're going to be willing to spend. P.J. Prelo, Dad Pearson, the safeties coach, and a former Hokie great, as we look at tonight's dependable player, brought to you by Mavis Tire.
Yeah, you look at the Bash brothers, two guys that just make a ton of tackles, 116 combined, and you got Luke Farrelly, who makes plays sideline to sideline, but a guy that I think is going to play a long time is Cade Uluave. He reminds me of a smaller version of Junior Seau, and a guy that just makes plays. He is strong in the run game, defends the pass, and loves contact.
Oh, wow, that is high praise. Hawkins reverses field and picks up a couple. Paul?
The Bass brothers are roommates. They are thick as thieves. And Cade Uluave, I talked to him. He told me everything growing up was contact. When he played in the backyard, wiffle ball turned into tackle wiffle ball. He just loves contact, Andre.
It kind of reminds me of a game we used to play, and you play touch in the street, but if you got close to the grass, you were fair game.
Drones with pressure coming from Cam Sidney, has to flush it. Uluave and Farrelly, it's the top tackling tandem in the entire ACC.
And both guys just had outstanding games last week. Uluave with 10 tackles against North Carolina. Farrelly with 9, and both had tackles for a loss, a couple of pass breakups between the two. I mean, they are as good as you get in terms of a linebacker tandem.
This plays into Cal's strength. Excellent pass defense. Hokies have struggled most of the year through the air. Drones in trouble. He can do that. Chased by Uluave, who comes up with the sack.
We weren't joking. I mean, the guy just loves to play the game of football. He loves contact. And you think that T.J. Bush, who is just kind of waiting, and is able to get to the quarterback.
Now there is a flag downfield.
Oh boy, and that's in the secondary.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, offense number 27, his first of the game towards ejection. The penalty is enforced half the distance to the goal. The down counts. It's 4th down.
Well, and that's going to change. Just that amount of yardage changes field position for Cal. And a lot has gone right early here for Virginia Tech. You can't have that type of stuff start to rear its ugly head, because then the field position battle over time, that is a big-time way of segueing your way to a win.
Penalty is on Hawkins. Veltsistas kicks it away. Fair catch made near midfield by DeJesus, an All-American return man. Saturday, it's another SEC tripleheader on ABC. Lane Kiffin's offense, Brent Venables' defense, Ole Miss at Oklahoma. Alabama, 4 straight SEC wins against ranked teams. They go to play Shane Beamer's Gamecocks, who have struggled of late.
How will LSU react after last week's loss with Texas A&M coming to their building? And A&M ranked 3rd in the country. That's going to be a good one.
Great matchup there too. LSU, terrific pass defense, and A&M with Mario Craver, Casey Concepcion, Marcel Reed has really had a nice season. Gain of a yard there.
Tyson Flowers up from his safety spot. His dad, Jeremy, played football at Arkansas from an athletic family. His mother, Christy, was an All-American basketball player at Arkansas.
Sanga Politelli delivers a strike. That's the one they call the mailman, Jordan King. Last week in the game against North Carolina, 3 first-down catches, all on 3rd and 10 or longer.
Well, they love going to him on 3rd down. And Sanga Politelli, because of the play fake, holding the linebackers in and forcing them to play the run, that opened up a nice crease for Jordan King on the outside.
Final seconds, opening quarter. Raphael cutting a jagged path inside the 5, all the way down to the 3-yard line
at the first quarter.
And it takes us to the end of quarter 1.
Coach Justin Wilcox. Coach, what do you like about this drive?
Well, we got something going, you know. We started out the first quarter not well at all with 2 3-and-outs and then some penalties, and then we were able to get a little RPO down to the goal line here. So
thank you, Coach.
Thanks.
Cal set up to tie this game. They've got a jumbo package in. It's 2nd down and 1 from the 3.
And a penalty that helped to aid in field position. That a couple of big plays in this drive have put Cal right where they are inside the 5-yard line.
Number 52, Morrow, is an offensive lineman who's an eligible receiver.
All 3 tight ends are in.
In the belly of Raphael, there's a flag down.
I mean, Minnie was in, Jeffrey Johnson and Landon Morris. All 3 big tight ends in for Cal in that formation.
Offside, defense. The penalty is enforced half the distance to the goal and results in a first down.
Well, that gives, you start talking about penalties, so a personal foul, change field position, and then you got guys lining up off sides, which gives Cal exactly what they were looking for outside of 6 points, which was a first down, a new set of downs to start this drive. That was Ben Bell, who means a ton to this Virginia Tech defense.
Raphael on the toss. Touchdown, Cal. 4 straight games with a touchdown for Kendrick Raphael.
And an excellent job by Brian Harsin of calling plays, getting Virginia Tech kind of unbalanced. They opened the game up with a lot of throwing of the football, and then here this drive they feature Raphael. They go down the field, a big completion to Jordan King, and Raphael finishes things off, and Cal with a chance to tie this baby up at 10 apiece.
So Cal only had -5 yards on 6 plays in its first 2 drives. Next 2 drives, field goal, touchdown. What's changed?
Well, I think they just settled in offensively, running the football. They got the offensive line going. It's amazing how the run game affects everything. You know, the run game forces a defender to have to sit and fight for a minute at the line of scrimmage, as opposed to, I'm just going to pin my ears back and go get the quarterback. So that takes a little bit of stress off having to protect the passer, makes that easier as well. You help the quarterback out when you can protect that way as well as run the football. Your job becomes a little bit easier.
It's the old adage, we can get caught up in all the schematics, all the X's and O's. Stop the run and run the football. It comes down to that.
It's what the game is, really, at the end of the day. Successful running game, it covers up a lot.
Michael Luckhurst to kick off, back with the Cal football team. Had been with soccer. There's Prelo. Torpedoes close to the 25. Remember Coastal Chaos Well, we don't have divisions in the ACC anymore, but we have some version of bi-coastal chaos. We head into the home stretch of the season. There are 8 teams in the league with 0 or 1 conference losses. Virginia's interesting. They're 3-0 in league play, but their lone loss this season was in a scheduled non-conference game against NC State.
How about Pitt, Louisville? They're all still right there. Season is still right there ahead of them.
Louisville sent some shockwaves through the league on Friday night, beating Miami last week, as Aiden Green, who had a touchdown earlier, hauls in a 6-yard catch.
He makes Jordan Sanford miss the Texas Tech transfer and is able to pick up a couple of yards, a couple of extra yards there on first down. You have got to be able to make guys miss in space, and if you're the defender, you got to be able to bring them down when you're alone in space.
Off a low snap. Drones looking to run, driven back.
Guess who?
Uluwave.
The guy just makes plays everywhere. Tackling machine, and just the eyes. You can tell he studies because he fires before the play is even declared. So he recognizes what formation Virginia Tech's in. That allows him to play fast, and when he gets there, wraps up and he finishes. Some football player.
Forward progress turns that into a no gain. Also tells you how big Drones is. Uluwave couldn't quite take him down. Quick throw to the outside. It's caught by Gosnell. Cal swarms immediately. Jordan Sanford, first one in there. It's a loss on the play, and it's a second consecutive 3-and-out for Virginia Tech.
Yeah, when you look at guys that you hear every year that guys can't win the Heisman on the defensive side of the ball. Well, I think Cade Uluwave, he was on my dark horse list as a potential guy that could win it. He just tackles everything. He makes plays all over the field, and he's some kind of leader and a captain for this Cal defense.
DeJesus, one of the best return men in the country, and taken down just shy of midfield. A 15-yard return after a 36-yard kick. A week from Tuesday, the first college football playoff rankings come out. Virginia Tech scored on its first 2 drives. Then they've had a couple of 3-and-outs. Cal, after back-to-back 3-and-outs, has scored on its next 2 drives.
Factor in field position. This is excellent for Cal to start its next drive.
On the ground to Raphael. And that's what started to activate this Cal offense on drive number 3.
Yeah, you got the big fellas going in front of them, and they're not having to just sit back and pass protect. They can actually fire off and go block defenders. And Raphael just kind of poking his way along, finding a soft spot within the offensive line. And if there's a crease, he's hitting it and getting the positive yards, keeping them in second down and manageable. Jordan Spazovic Moko, the left guard, is the guilty culprit.
Offense number 82, 5-yard penalty. It's still second down.
Big transfer from Charlotte, all 6'5", 330. Kind of hard to hide if you flinch at that size. We've got some big boys up front for Cal. Leon Bell goes 6'8", 330. Spazovic Moko, 6'5", 335.
Back to Raphael, subdued at midfield, a gain of a yard. 3rd down and long. 4 penalties in this first half already for Cal.
Yeah, and what it does, that penalty, the false start, takes an easy situation and complicates it. When you move back, now you're off schedule if you're Cal, and now brings up 3rd down and long here.
DeJesus is in the slot, bottom of your screen. The tight end mini motions that way. Tech brings 3. Downfield to Jesus, open. Huge third down conversion, a gain of 39 for De Jesus, who's got 5 catches for 71 yards.
Yeah, and De Jesus is streaking down the seam, and he's a guy that can make plays. They target him, you mentioned it, 19 times a week ago.
Raphael bottled, not much.
I mean, they were in a defense that is tailor-made for that route. Plus, Virginia Tech goes with the uncovered look. So you're uncovered. You're leaving De Jesus uncovered, free to release, giving him a free release off the line of scrimmage. I think everybody in this building is expecting 21 to get the football.
That was the one guy you had to know where he was, especially on third down. Play clock at 5. Raphael motions out. They just get the play off. JKS to the end zone. And it is ruled incomplete. Tron Grizel, they say, did not maintain control. He juggled the ball. He had a tough game against North Carolina. No catches in that one.
He was part of that drop party that went on against Carolina. Going to come open late. And I don't care if it's behind you a little bit. That should be a catch. If you're going to play Division I football, you got to make catches like that on this level.
And that is their most experienced returning wide receiver. Empty set on third down.
You cannot continue to drop the football and expect to stay on the field.
I can hear the quarterback in your voice. Songa Politella to the end zone. Incomplete, looking for Hamper.
Well, that hit his hands as well. Back of the corner, and that was one heck of a throw. I mean, JKS just rips this throw to the back pylon. Great protection up front. He rips the throw, and I think Hamper thought a defender was going to get his hands on it. It gets past the defender into the hands of Hamper. That should have been another touchdown.
3 drops already for Cal. They had 6 last week. Meyer, the field goal try. And it's 13-10 Cal. But 2 drops in the end zone. Took a few points off the board for the Golden Bears.
Illegal formation. Kicking team.
On the sideline when a late flag was thrown for an illegal formation on the last field goal attempt. So this now puts it 5 yards further back, a 34-yarder for Meyer. Nice. And the kick is still good. Back we go to this commercial break. Cal on top, 13-10.
There are so many struggles hospitals are faced with, especially in rural areas, from lack of resources to recruiting and retaining talented medical professions. Aiden wants to change that. In the meantime, he's keeping up his 3.94 GPA, playing the ukulele, and he has housemates, 3 Polynesians on this team, including JKS, and he said they eat a ton of food, and he needs it. He's 320 pounds.
He also ate up a ton of space last week. Career high 6 tackles in the win against North Carolina. And that's a mistake by Sheldon unless he called for a fair catch. He did not. He caught that ball, went out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
Oh boy, and you talk about field position.
He had no idea where he was.
Now, you got to know where you are on the field. Hawkins had the big
The ball is placed at the 1-yard line.
unsportsmanlike conduct penalty that moved Virginia Tech back, gave Cal excellent field position. They turned that one into a touchdown, and now this.
Talk about a game of inches. Had he caught that ball with even 1 foot out of bounds, that's the equivalent of a kick out of bounds. And you get the ball, well, with extra yardage. Instead, you're backed up with the 1. Terrion Stewart gets out of an ambush and just gets across the goal line. Luke Farrelly, one of the Bash brothers, is there.
One of the Cal defenders had Stewart dead to rights in the backfield, and it was Wagner from the secondary. Had him dead to rights for safety, and then you're not going to get away from Farrelly. Farrelly's tackling everything that moves, both he and his Bash brother, Ulawave.
Cal almost jumped. Hawkins disappears. And a pile of players, no gain.
Yeah, and when you backed up down here, it's almost equally as sound to try to formation where you get man-to-man or one-on-one. And that's where you go with the football. And you have to tell your quarterback, don't hold it, drop back, look the other way, but know where you're going and get the football out. I wouldn't have waited until 3rd down, though, to do it.
Remember, Drones has been the most pressured quarterback in the Power 4. A handoff to Hawkins.
Close, he got it.
Breathing room, and he gets a 1st down. That's a huge 3rd down run by the Central Missouri transfer.
A nice job by the left side, washing things down inside. Remack, the left tackle. Ganem, the left guard, do one heck of a job of opening a nice crease for Hawkins.
He got away from Ulawave. We don't say that often. Safety blitz. Another 2nd level run. Out to the 20. It's Hawkins again.
He's kind of shook off a couple of defenders. One being the true freshman, Aiden Manutai. Coming up, playing in the box. He's unable to bring down Hawkins.
They stay with the run. Hawkins stays on his feet and gets shouldered out of bounds by Sidney, but not before 1st down.
Manutai again missing a tackle, and that result of that missed tackle is a 1st down for Virginia Tech, and really important that they try to get some of the momentum of this football game back. It's been all Cal the last couple of possessions. Now just trying to settle into the running game, give some easy play calling to Kyron Drones, their quarterback.
All 5 plays on this drive have been runs. Drones to the air, he's hit, threw it behind Takai Heath.
And Takai Heath was open right away, which is why you see the body language, because he stood there waiting. He's open right now. Give him the football. Give him the football. And then you wait so long, you get the hit, and then that helps with the inaccurate throw.
Put me in the quarterback's shoes. Why did he hesitate?
Just not clear enough for him. I mean, you're seeing it. You just can't bring yourself to pull it back and throw it. Then when you do, it's too late. A lot of guys will do it.
He picks up a couple. It sets up 3rd down and long.
And coaches will tell you, Anish, just believe what you see and trust it. Trust what you're seeing and deliver the football. And sometimes that's where a guy is waiting until someone comes wide open. Well, Heath was wide open from when he shut the route down. And then there are guys that throw people open. Anticipate throws, anticipate receivers and backs coming open.
Jeremiah Coney in at running back. Low snap. Cal rushes 3 with a spy, and Drones is sacked. It's Jaden Wayne who stepped into his starting role when Cal's top pass rusher Ryan McCullough went down.
Got a half sack coming into this game. Now he's got a sack and a half after that one. Right up the middle. And then they're going to force Jones to step up. He's able to slip off a block and get to the quarterback. That's just not quitting on it. He's kind of tied up along the left side of the offensive line, and then once Drone stepped up, he came right in the middle to where Wayne was peeling off to.
Jesus waits back at his own 30, but a flag.
False start. Offense number 23. 5-yard penalty. It's still 4th down.
The kick is blocked. It's caught by Virginia Tech off the tip, but it's Cal ball at the 27-yard line of Virginia Tech. Cole Basha blocked the kick for Cal.
Yeah, he just kind of comes through cleanly on that right side. And I mean, that's perfect technique. Take it right off the punter's foot.
Ruling on the field is the ball was illegally touched at the 21-yard line.
There,
first down at that spot.
He does one heck of a job of taking it right off the punter's foot.
For years, we've seen Virginia Tech do that to teams.
Yes, we have. That was Coach Beamer's expertise. Special teams. How many games did they win because of special teams when he was the head coach here?
Beamer ball. It's a toss to Anthony League, playing in his first collegiate game. That's his first collegiate carry. True freshman from Long Beach, California. Now, Frank Beamer was known for putting his best players on special teams.
Yeah. And won a lot of games because of it. Really changed the way a lot of coaches around the country would think and how they approached special teams. Nobody did it better. One-on-one coverage at the top. Right there's where you want. No safety help over the top. And he is looking right at it. Play clock's running down, and Justin Wilcox figuring better get a timeout before a delay a game.
We'll take 1-2. Cal threatening again. Friday night in Blacksburg, Ganesh Shroff, Andre Ware, Paul Carcaterra. Cal with a 13-10 lead on Virginia Tech after the Hokies opened the game with 10 straight points, and after a block punt by Cal, working with a short field here on 2nd and 10. They keep it on the ground. It's Anthony League in his collegiate debut inside the 20. 3rd down. It's a passing down. And you got to imagine the pressure right now is on these Cal receivers. You brought it up earlier. You're a former quarterback. Got all these drops all season for Cal. At what point does that get into the psyche of the QB?
I'll tell him right in the huddle. Look, you keep dropping it, I'm going to throw it to DeJesus. He's the only guy that's not dropping the ball. If you're not going to catch it, I'm going to quit throwing it to you. So you got to make up your mind. You're going to hold on to the ball or not. Or I'm going to just continue. That's how a guy gets 19 targets in a football game.
Jordan King, a big 3rd down target in the slot bottom of your screen. Sangatele finds his running back, Raphael. Does he get there?
I think he does.
Give him enough for a 1st down at the 10-yard line.
Well, I tell you what, just the eyes of Sangatele, just scanning the field from one side to the other, and at the last minute, I know that I have this dump off. I'm going to keep that in my back pocket until the last
further review.
Possible second, and then dump it off to Raphael.
They are going to take another look at the spot. We take you to the ACC's Game Day Operations Center.
Okay.
Line to gain.
So we'll wait for his ruling on the field, and we'll show him.
Hey, gentlemen, this is Tim. The ruling on the field is a completed pass for a first down.
Yeah, Tim,
Okay.
we're going to, if you see this right here, he did not make the 10, but he did make the 11 for a first down.
Correct. So we're going to have the ruling on the field being upheld, but we're going to move the ball back, and we're going to bring it back to the 11-yard line.
We're going to move the ball back to the 11.
Well, put the backside of the ball.
Backside of the ball on the 11?
Yeah.
All right. Position what?
Position 5.
Position 5?
Yeah.
Clocks is good, right?
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Not like most fans are
After
probably
further
wondering
review, the
what's
ruling on
position
the field
5.
is upheld. First down. The ball will be placed at the 11-yard line.
Let's bring in Matt Austin. Matt, explain what position 5 is.
Well, position 5 is the far hash mark. There's 5 positions on the field. It starts on the home side or the press box side. The near hash mark is 1. The upright is 2. Middle of the field 3. Far upright is 4. Far hash mark is 5.
Matt Austin, our rules analyst. So they move the ball back a yard. He clearly didn't get the 10, but still enough for a first down.
That's why I love having him with us on Friday nights. Just cleans up everything.
A quads look to the boundary and movement again by Cal. That is the 6th penalty by Cal.
Now it's time for
Ball
a conference
start.
with your O-line.
Offense. Everybody but the snapper. 5-yard penalty.
Yeah.
It's still first down.
I like that explanation as well. But now it's
all of you
guys, hold your water. You know, let's be smart about this. Let's be disciplined. Know the snap count, and let's fire off together. And so we stop kind of hurting or shooting ourselves in the foot.
It's the 3rd false start.
Boy, they got that one-on-one coverage at the top again.
De Jesus is the offset back. A fake to league. JKS in trouble. Finds an escape route. It's Minnie, the tight end. It's going to bring up 2nd down.
Just the play action to lead. The fake to lead just holds everybody. And it's giving receivers time to get down the field and get open. That's what just having a little bit of a run game will do. Just a tiny bit of run success will open up everything behind the linebackers.
Sangapolatelli 10 out of 16, and he's been plagued by 3 drops. 2 in the end zone. A quick strike, and King tackled in space.
What a tackle.
By Joseph Reddish.
Boy, that's a heck of a play by Reddish in space. Remember we talked earlier about being able to make a guy miss in space and then being able to tackle well in space. That's the example. Because King, had he gotten out of that, was going to score. But Reddish, one-on-one in the open field with one heck of a tackle.
We have reached the 2-minute timeout here at Lane Stadium. Cal up by 3 and looking for more. Now I'm going to guess Bear Bachmeier.
That's what I was going to guess. Guy gives his body up. He's so big and strong. And guess what? Another true freshman.
And he wears 47 playing quarterback.
Like a fullback.
Big 3rd down here for Cal. Sangapolatelli finds De Jesus. And he's driven out shy of the line to gain. It's going to bring up 4th down.
Decision time.
Does the Calgorithm say to go for it?
I think so. When you're up, clock's stopped after the 2-minute timeout. But boy, this is, and they've run the ball well. So this is a situation where they can pick up a first down right about the 1-yard line. So you're looking at about a full 2 yards here for Cal. or Gazelle is primed for an out route.
De Jesus.
Close.
This will be close.
It's close.
And he's got the first down.
The ruling on the field is a first down.
Just going quickly to the flat. They're going to motion him in and then go right back outside with the ace, who's just kind of making it look like he's coming across the formation, and you just want to get it in his hands fast enough where he's got room to at least challenge the defense. Stretches out for a first down, and Cal still in business, Anish.
Raphael.
But a spin may have gotten him in.
Gets in with the spin, and Cal up by 2 scores, 19 unanswered by the visiting Bears.
Just tough running. He gets actually encountered in the backfield, and so leverage is to Virginia Tech's advantage, but the spin at the end of it is what gets Raphael in the end zone. And Cal, who started slow, they're awake now.
(20-10). 2 rushing touchdowns by Kendrick Raphael, the former NC State running back. Week 8 of the NFL begins with Sunday NFL Countdown. Get started at 10 a.m. Eastern, and then Monday Night Football, Commanders in Kansas City to take on the Chiefs. KC had that 0-2 start. They're at 4-3 now. They've won 3 out of 4.
Healthy.
Meanwhile, no J.D. Daniels for Washington.
And the receiving core for the Chiefs have come back in full force. You see there Mahomes in his last 5 games. Then you add a healthy Hollywood and that whole receiving core. They are dangerous once again.
I mean, you still have to think the AFC goes through Arrowhead in Kansas City at some point.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
Certainly Buffalo knows that well.
The one thing you can't control, though, is that every team at some point will face are the injuries. And you got to be able to navigate that, get guys back, get them healthy, and survival of the fittest during a football season.
Washington has had a slew of injuries, including to quarterback Daniels. Prelo is stood up inside of the 20. Hokies have 3 timeouts. First 2 drives, Hokies scored. Touchdown, field goal. Last 3, not a whole lot.
Got to find a way to recapture the momentum they had of those first 2 drives. They look sharp. Stewart mixed with Hawkins, where they were doing their things. A couple of drives, and then the big pass on that first drive to Aiden Green for a touchdown. They get back to some of that, really testing this Cal defense in some way, shape, or form.
Hokies get the ball to begin the second half. They've got a kicker who has hit from as far as 60. Drone steps up and tripped up by Uluave, who has been everywhere in this opening half.
He doesn't miss much, does he? I think you said he missed 1 tackle earlier, but that was about it. He just kind of, as you mentioned, tripped up Kyron Drones. Otherwise, he's going to run for a while.
Meanwhile, Cal using a timeout here with 1:22.
Smart timeout.
Cal, their second of the
Trying
half.
to double dip right here before the end of the first half.
Reset the game clock for 1 minute.
You're also asking Virginia Tech, are you going to play it conservatively and run, or are you going to throw? Now, if you throw incomplete, that's another free timeout by Cal. And remember, Cal blocked the last punt by Virginia Tech.
If you're Virginia Tech, you are just running and executing your offense. No way are you trying to just get through the end of the first half, because Cal has too many timeouts, or actually 1 more timeout that they can spend to stop the clock. But I'm trying to score if I'm Virginia Tech, because I want to double dip. I want to score here and get the ball first to start the second half, maybe put some points up there as well.
They keep it on the ground. And a gain of 3. Hear the groans from the stands. Kiana Aino with the tackle. Another timeout by Cal. They're out of timeouts. All right, now 3rd down if you're Virginia Tech, Andre. Do you keep this on the ground, burn off as much clock as you can, punt, and try to get to halftime, or do you throw it on 3rd and 5, down 10?
I'd try to get Drones on the edge to give him the option to run or throw. If it's clear and clean for him, keep the football, get to the first down marker. We got 3 timeouts. If not, and things open up because you're attacking the edge, go ahead and deliver a catchable football, pick up the first down, and let's keep this thing going. But I would definitely get him outside. I think he's a better passer on the move at this stage than he is sitting in the pocket trying to survey things.
Hokies are 1 for 5 on 3rd down today. Drones to the air. To Kai Heath.
Got it. Picked it up.
The chains. Gets out of bounds.
And saves the timeout by doing so. Nice quick decision here by Drones. This is kind of the same, kind of similar play call that they hit DeJesus on to pick up the first down for Cal.
At the 29 now with all 3 timeouts. Drones floats one, incomplete, off the hand of Zeke Masses. It was going out of bounds. Wanted Donovan Green.
Yeah, Green's got to give Drones a little bit more room on the sideline. You see him continue to drift towards the sideline. You're not going to catch anything. Give me 4 yards to fade you away from the defender so that when you catch it, you're still in bounds. If you continue to allow a guy to ride you out of bounds, you've done his job for him.
Cal rushing 3. And they get home with Uluave. That's been an issue for this Virginia Tech O-line all season. Teams rushing 4, rushing 3, and getting pressure.
And that's been a common thread for Cal, as Uluave making plays all over the place. 3rd sack of the night already for this Cal defense. But man, you're watching or witnessing some special player in wearing the number 0, Cade Uluave.
And this Cal pass rush doesn't exactly have teeth. They came into the game with the 2nd fewest sacks in the ACC. Only a 10 all season entering play.
Yes,
Hawkins on the run. Uluave pulls him down. He's up to 9 tackles in the first half.
He had a heck of a game last week against North Carolina. He finished that one with 10 tackles, 1 for a loss, 4 pass breakups, and a quarterback hurry. And look what he's doing already tonight.
And he wanted more. He's upset that Virginia Tech
didn't want to go in
another play.
He don't want to go to the locker room. Let's play some more.
1/2 of the Bash brothers for Cal. Uluave with a tour de force performance in the opening half. 20 unanswered to close stanza number 1 for Cal. Begin the 3rd quarter.
I think field position has really played a part in this game for Cal.
Tonight's game track is brought to you by American Express. Virginia Tech is a running football team. They've had some success on the ground. And down 10, Andre, they don't have to go full pass heavy. They can stay with the run, because if it gets to a point where they have to abandon the run, they play into the strength of this Cal defense.
Yeah, it's at a point right now where you can stay within the game plan and what you worked on all season or all week long preparing for Cal. You don't do anything here, or you turn it over and it leads to quick points. Now you really got a problem, and you got to get out of your game plan.
Drones bounces one at the feet of Takai Heath. Boo birds starting to rain down as we check in with Paul Carcaterra.
You know, gentlemen, you're talking about the effectiveness of Virginia Tech's run game, but I just caught up with Philip Montgomery. He wants the pass game to come a little live, and he thinks that they need to do a better job protecting Kyron Drones here. And he said if he flushes out at the pocket, there could be some potential for some downfield shots. He said defensively they need to drum up pressure on JKS. Those first couple drives, they were really strong, sending some heat to him. And then it was the 3 and outs, but then Cal's run game, he said, came alive and made it a little bit more difficult.
A big 3rd down after the end around to Selden.
You were talking about that earlier. Selden, they love him on end arounds, quick screens, things of that sort, and it was on full display that last carry.
Selden played running back at Tennessee, moved to wide receiver after coming to Tech.
He's a good-looking player. You turn the video on, and he flashes.
Against four-man pressure. Drones takes off, dives, and moves the chains. Andre, we asked Philip Montgomery, hey, is there a concern with drones? Do you think about putting in the backup, Pop Watson? And he shot it down pretty quickly.
Yeah, he said that, you know, it's drones, and then there's space between he and the next quarterback or two. So they really believe in drones. They believe he's a playmaker, and we'll see here if he can bring his team back here in the second half.
Heath goes in motion. Drones downfield. Heath is open, couldn't hold on. An incomplete pass. That's twice he's had a wide open Takai Heath.
Boy, I tell you what, he stepped in to this throw, and it was beautiful. We waited on Heath to turn up right between the soft spot in that cover two, where this corner and the safety reside. You got to drill that ball. He's all the way on the far hash, throws that baby on a rope, only to have Heath put it on the ground.
Here's the toss to Hawkins. Accelerates and tackled right at the sticks.
Redshirt junior, so whoever the head coach is here in Blacksburg going to have something to work with in Marcellus Hawkins.
They've had success with small school guys. Hawkins from D2 Central Missouri. Last year, Bayshall Tootin was from North Carolina A&T and ended up being a fourth-round pick of the Browns.
Yeah, Hawkins is a good player. I mean, a really good player. Excellent receiver out of the backfield, and he is tough to bring down.
There he is again. And crossing midfield into Cal territory. Manutai, the safety, with the tackle.
What a nice jump cut. And everything's clogged up inside. Nice jump cut to his right. Gets outside the garbage and turns it into a big gain.
With that run, Hawkins has matched his FBS career high for rushing. 82 yards. Set that last time out against Georgia Tech. Selden in motion. Hawkins got a yard, third down.
Just nothing there. Tremendous penetration by this Cal defense. And you're kind of stretching Hawkins out a little bit when they have him going more downhill where he can see it, and then, you know, he's one cut and gets up the field. That's when he's best, when he's got to run laterally and wait for things to kind of clean themselves up. This defense of Cal's is fast enough to run him down.
Two tight ends. Could be four-down territory. Terrian Stewart a yard shy. And now a decision for Philip Montgomery. 4th and 1 from here. Looks like they'll go for it.
Well, Derek Wilkins with excellent penetration gets up the field and finishes things off on Stewart. And you're almost kind of forced because you're chasing points here. When you get around midfield or so, you got to go for it if you're Virginia Tech. Don't like this formation, though, in short yardage.
Drones, quarterback run. Powers for the first down. Virginia Tech now 6 of 12 on 4th down this season.
Forelli there, but didn't get enough of Drones to stop it. Throws his shoulder into the shoulder of Drones, but couldn't stop the big 6'2", 235-pound quarterback.
2 years ago, Drones threw for 2,000 yards, ran for 800 plus. Last year, high expectations for Virginia Tech, and he was just inconsistent, and that's been the case this year. Off play action, down the seam, diving catch, touchdown, Isaiah Spencer.
Boy, he had 2 receivers open. Spencer's just the one he decided to go to. They had a crosser with a post route behind it, which was Spencer, and boy, that baby was thrown on the money. We're gonna take a look
at
The ruling on the
this.
field of a touchdown is under further review.
Let's go to the ACC's Game Day Operations Center. This will be close.
Mark, as well, you see the ball come through his arms.
Yeah.
Is all we have so far.
You see he's got snow cone.
Okay. So let's look at that low left.
Gentlemen, this is Tim.
Tim.
On the field is a completed pass for a touchdown.
Tim, we're seeing if he has clear, firm grip and control, and then survives the ground.
Any other angles from them?
Yeah.
So let's be able to look at this. So the ruling on the field is a catch touchdown.
Yeah.
So now we're trying to be able to look and see once the player goes down. So take this, now slow. And now let's see what the ball does as he's going to the ground.
That ball moves.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now we're going to see the ball hit.
Yep, ball hits the
move,
ground.
Keep going and keep going. And now we're going to see it bounce off the ground. Is everybody in agreement on that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're going to reverse it.
Yeah, we're going to reverse it. Let's
We're
get
going
the...
to reverse this, and we're going to then we're going to reset.
Yep.
We're going to have
And we are going to...
second down on the 42-yard line.
We're going on the plus 42.
Plus 42.
Second down.
Ball position 1.
Ball position 1.
Clock is good. Clock is good.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Thank you.
After further review, the pass was incomplete. A second down.
Let's bring in Matt Austin. Matt, enough there in your eyes to overturn the call?
Oh, absolutely. I think replay did a great job in this case because you could see him. He didn't stick the ball when he caught it. It bobbled out of his hands a little bit. He rolled onto the ball. Ball touched the ground. I think it's definitely an incomplete pass, and that was a great job by replay.
There's just too many drop balls, in my opinion, in this game. This was close, and I mean, you see the air between it. You see it hit the ground. I think everybody here thinks it's a catch, but Isaiah Spencer's not putting up much of a fight.
So 2nd and 10. Touchdown off the board. Stewart thrown to the ground by T.J. Ballers, a Wisconsin transfer.
Yeah, he's kind of the vocal leader of this defensive line for Cal. Makes a lot of big plays, eats up a lot of double teams, and allows a lot of guys like Uluave and Corelli to make plays, but that guy is a space eater. Boy, the emotional high for Virginia Tech going from what they believed was a touchdown to now 3rd down and long. You got to get something here to get this in a situation where you can go for it on 4th down and wait it too long to get the play call in.
You saw Drones looking at the sideline.
Timeout on the field.
And then a long time before they kind of broke back into the ready formation. And the Hokies have to burn a crucial timeout.
Middle of all of that. That's the only way you'd give me to do anything close to it in 40-degree weather.
Well, there's another way to stay warm when you're in college.
Yeah, true.
On 3rd down, Drones over the middle, and that is complete. It's going to be short of the marker,
but it gives them an opportunity. That's short by Heath, but it gives them an opportunity to pick it up here on 4th down. They needed something to get to 4th and mediums, 4th and short, and they got exactly that with that pass play to Heath.
They've got a kicker who can hit from this range, and John Love comes on. Prior to that completion, Drones had missed on 5 of his previous 6 pass attempts. A 52-yarder for Love. And that is an NFL kick by John Love.
Boy, excellent mechanics, the snap, the hold, and the finish, the kick by John Love. I tell you what, that's right down the gut right there. Well done, young man.
He hit a 60-yarder in the bowl game last year, hit from 56 against South Carolina in the season opener this year. As we look at the college football headlines presented by Edward Jones, Georgia Tech with its highest ranking since 2009 when our colleague Roddy Jones was playing running back for the Rambling Wreck.
Mr. Key has got him going, doesn't he? I mean, you talk about one heck of a job, and then that's going to be a good one. South Florida and Memphis. Memphis trying to get themselves back on track against the Bulls, who are playing some pretty good football. And I think one of the better games of the day, Texas A&M visiting Death Valley, and LSU. What do you do after last week's letdown?
We saw Texas A&M back in week 1, and Marcel Reed with a couple of imported receivers. Casey Concepcion, former ACC rookie.
Oh, is he special or what?
Mario Craver. They now have the pass game to complement the run game.
And a quarterback that glues it all together.
They've got one of the best offensive lines. Kark?
As we see JKS for the first time in the second half, I caught up with his coach, Justin Wilcox, at the half, and he said he liked the way his freshmen settled in. After 2 quick 3-and-outs, he really responded. He wasn't perfect, but the drops once again plagued him. We saw it last week. We're seeing it again. He also said on defense, Cade Uluwave's been terrific, but the rest of the defense needs to do a much better job tackling on the perimeter. The game will come down to that, he said.
Cal has scored on 4 straight drives. And on first down, a quick, easy completion to DeJesus. 13 catches last week. He's already got 8 tonight on 9 targets.
DeJesus is the man. I mean, when everybody around him is dropping passes. Now, he had 1 or so last week himself, but then quickly got his ship righted. He is about as automatic as they come in the passing game.
Raphael picks up the first down for Cal. He's north of 50 yards rushing.
Raphael. Yeah, that's a nice job by the right side of the offensive line. Atakani, the right guard. And a nice block there. He and Ruffins to open up things on that side along with Leon Bell.
Cal subbed, so Virginia Tech gets to sub. 2 tight ends. They climbed up to the right.
Down about 4.
Sangapolitele lost the football, recovers, throws it away. That might be grounding.
It's going to be, because there's not a receiver in the vicinity, and he was not outside the tackle box. So I'd be surprised if that were the case.
Intentional grounding, offense number 3. The penalty is a loss of down at the spot of the foul. Second down.
Surprised that it wouldn't have gotten called. I'm in total agreement with the officials right here. Puts this one on the ground instead of just falling on it and living to, for second down. Kind of made matters worse. They're picking it up, trying to throw it, loss of down, spot foul, all of it going backwards as well. So now, the second and about Blacksburg for Cal.
Four-man rush. Bell in pursuit. And Sangapolitele has to throw it away.
But he is some player. Ben Bell, when you turn the film on, he is a guy that just flashes. Quarterbacks beware of number 33 for Virginia Tech. He's an excellent blitzer when they decide to bring him, and he's an excellent pass rusher as well when they want to have him just come off the edge and get after you. He makes a lot of plays for this Virginia Tech defense.
Four-man rush, the slant incomplete. Too high for the 5'7" DeJesus. It's 4th down, so the Hokies get the field goal. Now they get the stop, and they'll get the ball back with a chance to tie.
And it went right through the hands of Caleb Woodson, the middle linebacker for Virginia Tech. Thought he was going to have himself an easy pick, he and Isaiah Cash. Two guys that may have touched it, and it goes right through their hands. And Virginia Tech going to have some decent field position in each to start their second drive of the half.
Honore punts it away. Isaiah Spencer from inside his own 25, nearly tumbles. Flag down. Spencer turns the corner. Still has room to run. Gets a block. And out of bounds inside the 10. But 2 flags inside the 30. A 67-yard return.
It's one of those blocks, by Virginia Tech where the guy blocking is facing his end zone, and he is throwing a block on a player.
During the return, personal foul, illegal blindside block. Receiving team number 53. The penalty is enforced half the distance to the goal from the spot of the foul. First down.
Will
Virginia
Johnson
Tech. Timeout on the
is
field.
the guy guilty of it, and you could see it. See him lining up one of the Cal players. Field position back near their 20 for Virginia Tech.
Speaking of pursuing the football, that's what Cade Uluave has done tonight. 12 tackles, 2 sacks, 3 TFLs.
I just like watching this guy play. He doesn't miss very often and just knows how to attack based on formations. You can tell he studies the game. That allows him to play really, really fast.
After the penalty, Virginia Tech begins inside its own 15. Drones pushed out of bounds by Uluave, and Drones goes down along the Cal sideline, able to bounce up.
He ran into, it looked like either a player out of uniform or one of the coaches, and this looked a lot worse than it actually was. Uluave is going to get credit for that one as well.
Ran into a big body on the sideline.
This is the 8th possession for Virginia Tech. Only once have they started beyond their own 25-yard line. That's tough work.
Quarterback draw. And Drones sets up a 3rd and short.
That is tough in terms of offensive football when every time, every drive, with the exception of one, has, that was the opening drive of the game, have started beyond your 25. There's Uluave right in the middle.
They keep it on the ground. Big hole. Hawkins into the Blacksburg 9 and a touchdown. Saving tackle by Paco Austin, the hero from last Friday.
Boy, and I don't know that he saw Paco Austin. He thought he had a clean path to the goal line. They fire, they miss with a linebacker with Uluave, and then Hawkins off to the races. Did not see Paco Austin coming from his right. He is running away from everyone else, and then all of a sudden, out of that side mirror, picked up Paco Austin.
Heath is open. Drones hits him in stride. Virginia Tech, a PAT from tying the game.
What's the run game do for you, Anish? It opens up everything else. That big run by Hawkins, and it had Cal thinking run again. Just showing the football into the back's belly, it freed up the second level. Linebackers are coming up to respect the run. Farrelly tries to turn and get back, but by then it's too late for everybody. The secondary, the linebackers, everyone on the second and third levels are fooled, basically.
The PAT by Love is good. A 44-yard Drones strike to Takai Heath, who's come on a step up, and that's all you need to get Heath behind him. Excuse me, here behind him on a post route, and watch Drones. The eyes of Drones staring down the helmet of Cam Sidney. That allowed Heath to get to the post route. I mean, that's a magical play because of the running game. DeJesus zigs and zags to the 27. Our Week 9 ACC Network Saturday football lineup at noon Eastern. Number 16 Virginia takes on UNC. Tar Heels still looking for that first ACC win under Bill Belichick. NC State squares off with Pitt, and then Louisville off that win last week against Miami, home for a floundering Boston College outfit.
And now JKS has got an answer here, or has to have an answer. A lot of momentum to the side of the guys in the dark jerseys.
Time in the pocket, and up and through the hands of his tight end, Minnie.
Not quite a drop, but should have been a catch. Man, this is a well-thrown football. Anticipation, yeah, right through his hands. Tell me you shouldn't catch that one? Absolutely. That's in the job description.
A season-long affliction for these Cal pass catchers. DeJesus, the motion man. High snap. Raphael able to turn that into a gain of 3. It's just 3rd down and 7.
A lot going on up front, and usually centers struggle when they have someone right over their face. And that's what's happening with Tyson Ruffins here. Every once in a while, Virginia Tech will put a defender right over his face, and it affects the snap going back to JKS in the shotgun.
Another 3rd and long for Cal. Here's the blitz. Sangapolatele to the mailman who delivers again.
On 3rd down
against North Carolina, he had 3 first-down catches, 2 on 3rd and 10, 1 on 3rd and 18.
They love going to him in that situation on 3rd down. What a well-thrown ball out in front, and he does a heck of a job of just extending and hanging on.
He's kind of become their 3rd wide receiver they were looking for. Swing pass, Raphael pulled down by Caleb Spencer, the leading tackler for Virginia Tech.
They told us he's a very good player. He returned last week from an injury, and boy, do they need him. Leads the team in tackles, and he's added some weight when he moved from that star position of kind of a secondary player to linebacker. And he's a guy that'll hit you.
A loss of 4, another 2nd and long. Anthony League, a true freshman, making his college debut tonight in the backfield. Low snap. JKS over the middle, finds League. Bulldozing across midfield to the 49 of Virginia Tech. It's 3rd and 7.
Nice job of being patient, going through your progressions, and we see this about every drive or every other drive with Sangapolatele.
Officials timeout for an injury.
He's not in a hurry. Yeah, Isaiah Cash with the injury there, nickelback. But you see JKS go through his progression. He's not, going to flinch and fly out of the pocket. He just simply goes through and gets the ball to the right place.
Entree with Cash down.
Tough.
You think about how hard this Virginia Tech secondary's been hit. Injuries, opt-outs. Once a team fires its coach, players have a 30-day window to transfer, to opt out, and about a half dozen Virginia Tech players did so after Brent Pry was let go following that 0-3 start.
So we have free agency in the middle of the season. I mean, tell me what's right about that. That 30 days after a coach is fired, you can just pack it up and take off. What is right about, come on, NCAA. We got to do better than that. In the middle of a season, a guy can take off.
You want to add that to the list?
Yeah, you can put that on the list too, definitely.
So Cash is still being attended to.
It's hard enough to coach this game. You mess around and get fired, and the next guy has just an empty cupboard. He has nothing to work with. And I would imagine it's going to be Sheldon Robinson, who is a true freshman that has played more lately, that may see a couple of snaps for Isaiah Cash until he gets himself back on the field.
You look at some of the guys who have transferred, a couple of DBs in that mix.
Well, it's just sending, to me, it sends the wrong message for the player transferring and those that are allowing it to happen.
Sheldon Robinson, indeed, checks in for cash. Third and 7. Copeland gets home for the sack.
Well, he went right around the outside of the left portion of Cal's offensive line. And he is, I mean, he is playing some football. Out on the edge, they moved the big fella out and said, hey, go get the quarterback. He did it from the inside, caused some problems early in the football game, and then there from the edge. Talk about a versatile defensive lineman. Kamari Copeland is exactly that.
He benches 400, squats 675, and Cal tried to chip him with a running back. Spencer makes the fair catch. Less than 2 minutes to go in the third. Virginia Tech with the football and a chance to take the lead. They've started strong in both halves.
Yeah, they got out to a great start. Cal, at last, in the third quarter, they hadn't allowed any third quarter points in their previous 3 games. Virginia Tech has put up about 10 of them. So they found some rhythm to their offense, and it's been through the running game with Marcellus Hawkins. A couple of receivers are now stepping up, like Heath. This will be an interesting ride to the finish line, so to speak.
Kyron Drones, only 7 of 15, but he does have a couple of touchdown passes. Guess who? Hawkins has had a career day, up to 120 rushing yards.
You know, Hawkins is a guy, 0 Division I offers, he told me this week. He was a quarterback in high school. Everyone was worried about his physicality. Now it's one of his strengths. It's absolutely fueled him. And he's so disciplined in terms of the way that he approaches the running back position. He studies it with attention to detail. He wants to be a running backs coach one day at the college level.
Right now, he's pinballing off defenders, and Cal has no answer. He picks up what appears to be not quite a first down. He's going to be about a half-yard shy, 3rd and 1.
I tell you, there's a lot to like about Marcellus Hawkins. He runs with a low center of gravity. He is tough for the first defender to get down, and he can hit big plays in the running game for you. We saw that on the previous drive by Virginia Tech.
Hawkins comes out. Stewart is in. Hokies stay with the run, and Stewart bowling balls for a first down. Another stop by Uluwave. Virginia Tech dominating this third quarter.
I mean, watch the work of the left side of the offensive line, the patience of Stewart. And Uluwave with another tackle, but not before Stewart's able to pick up the first down. Boy, this is a page right out of what got Cal on track, is the running game.
To the air. Uluwave bringing pressure, and the check down to Coney is incomplete. And a flag at the end of the play. Drones remains down. Uluwave with his hands out. This may be a late hit.
I think that's exactly what they're going to call it, but they're talking about it.
Let's bring in Matt Austin, our rules analyst, after this call.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense number 0, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Matt, what do you see here?
To be honest with you, I don't see a heck of a lot. It looks like he only takes like 1.5 steps. He hits him around the waist. He's wrapping up, making a tackle. I want to see this replay to see if he's later than I think he was. I think that's a good hit.
He's already engaged. I think it's a good tackle.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about that call.
And that's coming from a quarterback, Matt. I'm in agreement with you. Like that's a play on all day long in my mind.
Instead, a first down and a gaping hole for Drones. He rumbles inside the 30. Austin with the stop after a gain of 33. Virginia Tech dominated Cal in that third quarter.
That is the end of the third quarter.
Kyron Drum.
Field receivers are getting separation. We're kind of being more balanced right now.
When you go on defense, what's the best way to disrupt their quarterback?
Well, we got to get him behind the chains. That allows us to put our pressure packages in and get an opportunity to get him off that spot.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Meanwhile, Stewart running through a few defenders before Harrison Taggart knocks him out.
I wouldn't want to sign up for that. 5'9", 222, and low center of gravity. He is hard to bring down.
He gave the thumbs up, but that look on the face says, I'm not trying to show the pain.
A little too close for comfort.
Heath with the touchdown motions. Drones downfield in coverage. It's picked off by Cam Sidney.
I'm not sure what Drones was looking at.
Hang on a second. And they say he was down in the end zone. It's a touchback. It's Cal football. So 2 weeks in a row, Cal comes up with a takeaway with the other team on the verge of going in. Last week it was a goal line fumble knocked out by Paco Austin.
Not sure what Drones was seeing here. Guys are falling back in zone, and there are two guys clearly around Heath. Easy play for Cam Sidney.
You had Zeke Masses, who's one of the best corners in the ACC, in coverage as well. And off the turnover, Cal gets the football back. Sidney had a forced fumble on the first play of the game last week. They set up the screen. Grizel flagged down.
And you're going to have a late hit out of bounds to go along with it by Caleb Woodson at the tail end of this. So
that's how the Wake Forest game got away for Virginia Tech.
Maybe a hold on Cal, but then all of a sudden Woodson hits Grizel late. So it may be offsetting here.
There are fouls by each team. Holding, offense number 86. That's a 10-yard penalty. After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Defense number 20. That's a 15-yard penalty. Each penalty is enforced. Automatic first down.
Because the penalty, the second one occurred after the play, the fouls do not offset.
So net 5 yards for Cal. And the late hit out of bounds here by Caleb Woodson. That drew the late flag.
So lose 2 spaces, move up 3 spaces. And JKS back to the controls here on 1st and 10. Double tight end set. Little pop pass. Karan Adams out close to the 30-yard line. The South Dakota transfer. He's got speed. He's another mini Jacob De Jesus.
He is, and he had that exact play happen last week against North Carolina where it went for 18 yards. So trying to catch lightning in a bottle 2 weeks in a row on the same play.
He averaged 30 yards a catch at South Dakota last year. Raphael lowers his head, gets upended, ball comes out.
Brennan Johnson was the guy that caused the fumble for Virginia Tech. Let's see who unravels with the football. Of course, both teams are saying our guy has it. See what the officials say.
The ruling on the field is a fumble recovered by the offense. First down, Cal. Third down, Cal.
Give it right back to Cal. That's some lick by Johnson.
And then it hit off somebody's helmet. Cal catches a break. It's 3rd down and 4.
And where, oh where, is Jordan King, number 4.
Raphael goes wide. Another bad snap. Songapolitele has to fall on it. It's 4th down. There have been a lot of low snaps, high snaps, bad snaps on the center exchange.
It's when Ruffins has a guy over him. And that's usually when the ball comes up because the center has to snap it for the gun and get his hands up in pass protection. And that's exactly what he's being talked about right now. A lot of guys can do it. It's tough for others.
That was offensive line coach Famika Anai. Honore kicks it away. Spencer lets this bounce. And it's downed by Javen Plummer. Virginia Tech survives the interception in the end zone. They get a mulligan.
That's a trick question, Zubin. That is a trick question.
Here comes Hawkins on 1st down. 6:08, Andre. I mean, that brought you back to 1989 right away.
The answer to his question is no. But I'll put a bow on it after this graphic. But these are the teams that still have a chance, or the best chance, for the group of 5, and led by South Florida, who we saw a couple of weeks ago against North Texas. And boy, Mestermaker throws for 608 in that game. It's a different story for North Texas.
A toss to Hawkins with some speed. Tight ropes this sideline and tripped up by Monetile.
Oh boy, is he turning out a special evening. Hawkins, nice job of kind of bouncing this. He had a nice jump cut already, but then picking up blocks and then the speed to turn the corner. Love the dirty work on the outside by the receivers. That's Heath and his group throwing some nice blocks for their running back.
The play is under expedited review.
To put a bow on what Zubin asked me, does 5-something in the first half and not playing the second half count? So that maybe counts. I get to 6:08, maybe.
After expedited review, the ball carrier stepped out of bounds at the 36-yard line. It's 1st down.
So they'll move this back a little bit. Still another big run by Hawkins, having his best game as a Hokie.
Oh my goodness, yes he is. And he came in with just 64 carries for 364 and was averaging, when we talked about him, just under 6 yards a tote. That's going to go up, and he is auditioning for the next staff that comes in here to Virginia Tech.
18 for 154. They feed him again. And he bowls over a couple of defenders inside the 35. Uluwave credited with the tackle.
Kind of felt like this would be a game for the Bash brothers, because finally the O-line was in place for Virginia Tech. You knew they wanted to run it, and linebackers against the run got to be there. And Uluwave, and both he and Forelli have had nice games, but so has Mr. Hawkins.
Uluwave 16 tackles tonight. Drones keeps and runs into a bear embrace. Uluwave, the first to greet him. It's 3rd down.
Well, he's some player, isn't he? I mean, you're going to pay money to go see a defensive player. That's the guy I want to go see play right there.
You talked about him on the Heisman show.
Yeah, dark horse when you're, looking for somebody defensively. Not a lot of people around the country know Cade Uluwave, but they know now.
Big third down for Tech. Sheldon in motion. Drones with a first down run on the keeper.
Boy, excellent play fake to just get guys one step out of position. That fake toss one way, this gets a defender to false step one way, and then all of a sudden you got a guy on him that's blocking and walling him off for Kyron Drones to pick up the first down. That's a well-designed play and well executed.
The Hokies have outrushed Cal 246 to 13. And they stay with the ground game. This is Stewart, and right now, this much beleaguered Virginia Tech offensive line, they're pushing around Cal's front. And these big backs, all these running backs, Andre, Stewart's 220, Hawkins is 220, and then you've got the quarterback, Drones, who's close to 240.
And you got a bunch of big guys in front of them, like Thomas Remack, the right tackle there, throwing a nice block to open things up for Stewart.
On 2nd and 5, this is Stewart. Hammer heads forward and sets up a 3rd and 2 from the 17.
And they're taking their time. Click closer to about 8:15 or so in game time. No rush for Virginia Tech, and Cal, they desperately need the football back and a stop right here. Already are well within the range of John Love, their field goal kicker.
Virginia Tech scored the first 10 points of the game, then 20 unanswered by Cal before the Hokies tied it up. There comes Stewart, spinning for a first down like a Tasmanian devil. And this drive continues, and it's been a steady dose of run.
You're seeing the offensive line get a nice push. They get a double team on TJ Bowlers, and he is able to escape, but not before Stewart's already picked up the first down. And so it's just, they're just methodically moving it down the field now in a tough way to have it handed to you if you're a defender for Cal.
2 tight ends into the game. Why not another run? This time Drones gets the edge. Touchdown, Kyron Drones. Virginia Tech with the lead.
Everybody goes inside with a play fake, and Drones pulls it and had a clear path to the end zone. Manitai was the only defender out in the open to try to bring down Drones, but he had too much of a head of steam for the smaller Manitai to bring him in, to reel him in, so to speak.
A 9-play drive, and every play was a run. Kyron Drones, the punctuation. And as the last song of the night and the fans started jumping around, it actually registered on the Richter scale.
I bet it was crazy here. And they sing it even after the lyrics are done, after the team's introduced.
Well, the Hokies struck the first chords tonight, jumping out to a 10-0 lead. Then Cal responded with 20 unanswered to close the first half. But it's 17-0 Virginia Tech since halftime. Adams with struggling Tyson Ruffins.
Yeah, they're trying to put Kevin Gilliam right over his face. New center, going to cover him up with one of your best defensive linemen.
Shanga Politele, incomplete for Grizel. The ball and Tyson Flowers arrived at the same time.
I'll tell you what, Gilliam, who we just talked about, was in the face of Sangapolatelli. Ball's there. Got to catch that one. And that's another one that should be caught. Tough catch, yeah, it is. But the ball's on the money, the timing. Your quarterback's taking a beating. You got to help him out.
Thomas Williams in coverage as well. Only 14 yards of offense this half. Contested catch. It's brought in by the tight end, Mini.
That's a nice grab. Caught it with his hands, or arms extended. Reels it in, secured the catch.
Noah Chambers, a talented true freshman, getting more reps of late in coverage.
Big time third down here for Virginia Tech. Got to get themselves off the field.
Here comes the blitz. Downfield, Grizel makes the catch. And then wrestled out of bounds by Thomas Williams.
What a throw. And he just releases on the outside. And Grizel gets behind coverage. And I can't tell you how many times on film you see defensive players, linebackers, if he's throwing over the middle, or corners, or say, barely miss a ball. But he's just, this arm talent's so special.
Quick check down. That's the tight end, Mini. Mini had the game-winning touchdown in the win against BC. Second and 3. Jaron Keave, Sangapolatelli.
Went somewhere else other than Jordan King on third down. Went to Grizel.
The true freshman from Eva Beach, Hawaii. There's King. And what else is new? He picks up a first down for Cal.
Boy, he pumps. And it had the attention of everybody in the secondary for Virginia Tech, and it allowed DeJesus to come open on a skinny post from the slot position. If he'd have stayed with him just a tad bit longer, we might have a tied-up ball game. Cal substituted, so it allows Virginia Tech to make their substitutions.
And Andre DeJesus lined up in the backfield. Quick slant. Grizel holds on. First and goal, Cal.
Andre, you're talking about JKS's arm talent. When I see him on the sideline, you got to check his pulse, man. The moment is never too big for this kid. And when you talk to teammates, they say words like humble, professional, so dialed in. He's on the road, you would never think it. This moment is made for a guy like this.
He just looks poised at all times, Clark. I mean, you're talking about a guy that you wonder if his pulse is even, you know, if he even has one, because he's so collected, calm. It's amazing to see.
A handoff to Raphael, who's got 2 touchdowns tonight. Second and goal.
Right around the 5-yard line or so. And big for Cal to finish this drive, because the way that Virginia Tech has gone about its business here in the second half, you're wondering how many more possessions will Cal actually get. You're not going to overcome many 9-play drives that Virginia Tech just went on. So you got to punch it in the end zone right here.
Split backs. DeJesus motions out. Raphael again. And he's taken down right at the line of scrimmage. I got to imagine, even with the 3 timeouts, this has to be 4-down territory.
Yeah, no doubt. Cody Heisman with a tackle, Ben Bell helping him out, but I'd imagine so. You know, like I just mentioned, you may not get the football back. So you get down here with a chance to tie it up. You gotta leave everything you have on the field on this drive.
And Cal has not been able to slow Virginia Tech
at all here in the second half.
All right, 3rd down and goal. JKS hit and sacked. Ball came out, flag down.
I think Frederick Williams, the left tackle, is the guy that recovered it, but it was Ben Bell, who we've mentioned throughout this game, with a hit.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense. The penalty is enforced half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
Wow. Let's bring in Matt Austin, our rules analyst. Philip Montgomery is livid at the call. Matt, tell us what you see.
Well, it must be a hit to the head of some kind. I'm not a fan of this one either. He comes in, puts his helmet right in his chest. He's still got the ball.
And Matt, you're kind of looking at Sangapolotele. He was jumping the pass. We saw that a couple of times in last week's game, so it made it look worse than what it was, the initial tackle by Ben Bell. So he didn't drive him to the ground. It was Sangapolotele that actually left his feet.
That made it close to no sense, but it's given Cal a 1st and goal. And it's Raphael searching, reaching, and he's got a touchdown, his 3rd of the night. It's 27-26.
When I'm telling you, Sangapolotele, you saw it a couple of jump passes in last week's game against North Carolina. Well, here he's trying to do it again, but he got caught going up by Bell, and so it looked worse than it actually was. Just a nice job inside handoff. They get a nice push up front.
Review.
And
it looks like
Raphael gets in. Yeah, I think he's in as well. And the ruling on the field, remember, it was a touchdown. You can't really find the football in all those bodies.
You know, I go back to last year on Friday night, the game against Miami, where Virginia Tech looked to have had a Hail Mary at the end that was initially ruled a touchdown. Didn't look like there was enough evidence to overturn the call, yet the call was overturned in Miami's favor. That's not a play that you can review. To Matt Austin's point, it looked like the hit had more to do with that ball coming out than Sangapolotele.
And he's jumping, so it made it look even worse. And I had to take my hat off to Philip Montgomery and the job that he's done tonight.
We look at the ACC Game Day Operations Center as they review this
right now, so
run by Raphael.
The ruling on the field is a touchdown.
Uphold. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, this is the best look. We have nothing down the line.
Yeah.
You good, Baton?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
The ruling on the field's upheld.
After further review, the ruling on the field is upheld. Touchdown.
If you're Virginia Tech, right, you're probably thinking, hey, it should have been 4th down and goal instead of a 1st and goal from the 3. Now Cal gets a touchdown.
I still think it should be that, but you know, then they get a fresh set of downs and score on the first play. It's amazing.
To tie. 27 all, 2:34 to go in the 4th. We remind you, this Saturday, it's SEC football on ABC. Number 8, Ole Miss going to Oklahoma. Lane Kiffin's offense, Brent Venables' defense. Alabama squares off against a reeling South Carolina team that's lost 4 out of 5. Shane Beamer, the head coach for South Carolina, son of Frank. His name has been rumored for the Virginia Tech job, and then you've got LSU home for undefeated at number 3, Texas A&M. You talk about tipping point games in terms of the college football playoff. This is one of them.
Yeah, it's, you know, you can't just kind of back your way in anymore, and it's right there front and center for both teams. A lot on the line for both Oklahoma and Ole Miss.
The first playoff rankings come out 1 week from Tuesday. Okay, Virginia Tech, victim of that bad call. How do you bounce back?
Well, it's one play in the game, and we still have time on the clock getting the football here, and there's a lot of time. 2:34, you got the 2-minute timeout as well as 2 timeouts in your back pocket, so it's forever for Virginia Tech. Cal's got to stop the run, though, because that's where Virginia Tech has made its mark here in the second half.
Prelo comes up to catch it inside the 10. A little shake. Out across the 25. And for Cal, Andre, they have not been able to stop this Virginia Tech run game in the second half. What does Cal have to do defensively right now?
Well, you load the box. You love your defensive backs. Zeke Massis, as well as Paco Austin, those guys, Cam Sidney on the back end. You may have to lock them up in some man-to-man coverage and give the box some extra help. And by that, another defender, another guy around the line of scrimmage to stop Marcellus Hawkins and Mr. Stewart when he checks in. We're doing it with a 4-2 front here.
Drones on the keeper, diving, and picks up 9.
And they're going to continue to see that because they're one less body, and the O-line can block up and leave the guy farthest away from the side of where the ball's going. You can leave him free. By then, it's a 9-yard gain.
And Virginia Tech lets this go to the 2-minute timeout. The other thing to remember, the Hokies have one of the best kickers in the country in John Love. Peanut punch right at the goal line. That would have been the go-ahead touchdown. Austin then recovers the fumble in the end zone.
That's the part of the play I liked most, was that he didn't just make the play, he finished the play.
2nd down and 1. Drone, zone read, keeper. There he goes. Lowers the shoulder. 1st down inside the 40. Virginia Tech in field goal range with 1:51 to go in the 4th.
Not enough bodies in the box. 4-2 front. You take a step and you're out of position because of the fake inside. Drones is going to have it all night long until they make the necessary adjustment and get a 3rd backer into the formation defensively, and they've kind of sort of done that.
Cal's got to start using its timeout soon.
You see him back here, right in the back end of this thing, with all 3 backers in.
Hawkins inside the 35 and a timeout.
Anish and Andre, I'm right next to John Love, the kicker for Virginia Tech. After that long run by Drones, he took a huge deep breath, but this guy is super confident, and he should be. He's got 5 career kicks of 50+, including one tonight for 52 yards. You see him racing up and down the sideline, talking to fans, loose as can be. This guy is dialed and one of the best kickers in the game.
Now, they talk about him as a team leader. All right. Last year on Friday night against Miami, he hit from 57 and 52. 52 tonight.
It's been perfect all season.
In the bowl game.
Yeah, 14 of 14 coming into tonight's game. And Philip Montgomery told us this week he hit from 60 in practice. So he is pretty much already within his range.
Cal still has the 2 timeouts. Virginia Tech in the 2nd half has run for more than 200 yards.
Yeah.
311 for the game, a season high. Both Hawkins and Drones north of 100 yards. 2 tight ends in the game. Drones keeps and tumbles to the 29. 3rd down. Timeout Cal, 1:21 to go.
Cal, their 2nd of the half. It will be 30 seconds.
We look at our dynamic play of the game presented by T. Rowe Price.
It's the play fake because the run was so effective all night. And it's a nice post route to Takai Heath. That basically got Virginia Tech rolling. And I tell you what, here in the 2nd half, it's been the running game, and they sprinkle in a pass here or there, but that last drive with 9 plays, 9 straight runs to to put up another score.
Officially 233 rushing yards in the second half. They ran it on all 9 plays on the previous drive, all 4 plays on this drive.
Imagine another run here to Hawkins.
And a flag.
Ball start. Offense number 62. 5-yard penalty. It's still third down.
That's the center.
Yeah, the center. The guy that you would never expect to false start.
These are critical at this spot on the field because you're making your kicker, as good as he is, work harder.
Yeah, right in the middle, just a little bit of a bringing the ball up a little bit, and that got it.
What do you go with on 3rd and 8?
I'm still running it. Still going to run it with Hawkins.
They run it with Drones.
He gets almost all of the yardage back.
He gets about 2 yards shy of the marker.
Cal, their 3rd and final of the half. It will be 30 seconds.
So Cal uses the timeout.
It's kind of easy for Virginia Tech. They're just pinning guys inside. You go with the run, the play fake inside, and then Drones is going to pull it and keep it. And it's all run by Drones. Now, you start skating outside, you'll see him hand it off underneath to Hawkins. But right now, in this 4-2 front, Cal cannot stop Virginia Tech from running the football.
Love is getting ready to line up for the go-ahead field goal. Now, Cal, by not giving up a first down, even with no timeouts, they've put themselves in position to get the ball back.
55-yarder here. Excuse me, 45-yarder.
Off the upright and no good. One of the best kickers in the ACC, John Love, missing from 45.
Yeah, he was perfect in PATs coming in to tonight, but he was 12 of 14 on the season, and that one just would not turn or take a left turn, kept pushing right. And Cal, still in this thing, used the timeouts perfectly and leaves enough time for the true freshman, JKS, to put a drive together for Cal.
They hand it off. Strong run on first down by Raphael. That'll keep the clock moving. That's no timeouts for Cal. Also for Cal, their kicker, Chase Meyer, doesn't have the strong leg that Love does. Abram Murray is their long-range kicker, and he's been hurt of late. It was a game-time decision entering today. Songa Politele, helmet is off.
He's got to come out for a play.
And Cal does not have a timeout.
So he has to come out for a play. Devin Brown, the backup, will check himself in.
And normally, helmet comes off, you can stop the clock or get the player back in with the timeout. Cal doesn't have that.
He had to come in last week in a situation where they were throwing the football. So
they're not going to spike it here. They're just going to call the play. First down, momentarily stop the clock. It's a run. That's going to keep the clock moving. Now Songa Politele coming back. 30 seconds and ticking. A lot of wasted time here.
Yeah, got to have more of a sense of urgency to get a play run here.
Down to 20 seconds. Downfield, the tight end Mini able to hang on. Flags down, multiple flags.
This may, if it stands,
this might be targeting.
Yes, and an additional 15 yards.
And that puts Cal comfortably in field goal
well within field goal range.
Defense number 6. The play is under further review.
It's Jordan Bass. Now remember, all aspects of targeting need to be confirmed. We check in with the ACC Game Day Operations Center.
The program feed.
Okay.
If we go to the program feed, we're going to. So the first thing we're going to see, Steve.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to bring Tim over.
Yep.
We'll go through the process here.
Yep. Tim, are you on?
Yeah, gentlemen, the ruling on the field is targeting a defenseless player.
Yeah, let me back it up. Here's the contact. He is defenseless.
We have a defenseless, and then we're going to see we have a launch.
Yep.
Okay, so now we're going to see that forcible contact. We're going to see that shoulder. Wait. Hold on, Tim. We're going to see the forcible contact is going to go. We're going to see shoulder to shoulder. And now the head, these heads just collide. We don't see forcible contact with that helmet. Steve, are you in agreement?
Yeah, it's shoulder to shoulder, the head contact.
Are there any other angles?
So we see the forcible contact will go shoulder to shoulder.
Yep.
And we're going to overturn the ruling.
We got one more replay coming in on A.
Looks here.
A just came in late.
Okay.
Look at A.
I got shoulder to shoulder. Even
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree, shoulder to shoulder.
Tim, you good with that?
Let me see this again. Okay, I can see shoulder to shoulder here.
Shoulder to shoulder.
Yep.
Ruling on the field is going to be overturned. No targeting.
Okay, we're overturning it.
And what we're going to
have
do.
first and 10 at the 31-yard line. Position 5.
First and 10 at the 31-yard line.
Going from a running clock to a running clock.
And then the clock will be at 12 seconds. We're good.
On the hot, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right now the ball's on the 32. Do we like that?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
No. Well, then if it's at the 32, then we will put it, hold on, at the 31-yard line.
Yeah, 31.
Put it at the 31-yard line.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, guys.
After further review, there is no foul for targeting. Number 6 may remain in the game.
Matt Austin, again, imperative all aspects of targeting, and they didn't see that last piece, which was the forcible contact to the head and neck area.
Yeah, I would agree. I think that's another good job by replay. I thought, for all intents and purposes from the original feed, that it was targeting because of the launch, but he did get him in the shoulder and not the head, so that was a good overturn.
Sangapolotele spikes it with the clock starting on the official signal. 8 seconds to go. This would be a long field goal from here for Cal. And you got to wonder, is there one quick play to the sideline to make this a shorter attempt?
Reset the game clock to 9 seconds.
They would have to get to about where it would be a 40-yard attempt.
Thank you.
To get into Myers' range. And they're just not quite there yet, and they need to hit something along the sideline.
Charge timeout. Virginia Tech, their second of the half.
Because
it will be 30
pass
seconds.
Completed over the middle, time's going to expire and run out.
Chase Meyer on his 4th school in 4 years. Penn, Tulsa, a redshirt year at Penn State, now Cal. He is their short-range kicker. Season-long 43, career-long 47. Abram Murray, who's missed the last few games with injury and was a game-time decision. That's what we were told. We have not seen him tonight. His career long is 49. On the season, he's only attempted 3 field goals, including one that he made from 49. He made all 3.
Yeah, I am protecting the sideline. If I'm Virginia Tech, that's the only place that can hurt them right now.
And incomplete downfield for Grizel, 6 seconds. And here comes the field goal unit. So a wild sequence to end this game. Virginia Tech gets into field goal range. Cal uses its timeouts.
It's going to be Meyer.
Love missed it from 45, and Chase Meyer with a chance to win it. This would be a career-long, a 49-yarder for the win.
Virginia Tech.
And Virginia Tech will let him think about it a little longer.
Of course, Philip Montgomery going to spin that timeout. And I was saying earlier, I take my hat off to him and the job that he's done, both he and Justin Wilcox. But especially Philip Montgomery, because we were talking earlier about coaches being fired and guys transferring. Well, Virginia Tech was sort of grandfathered in because Grim Price was fired 3 weeks into the season. And so that's what allowed players to still leave the program. But they are playing hard. We said at the top that this is, if you could be the best 2-5 team in the country, it would look that way for Virginia Tech. They played a heck of a ball game tonight.
If Meyer makes it, Cal is bowl eligible. Not close. 1 second remains on the game clock.
Both kickers just hanging them out to the right. Love his miss, hit the upright on the right side and had enough distance. Just pushed it right.
Hashtag college kickers.
It's kickers, period. That's why, as a player, I never wanted to put the game on the kicker's foot. Let's go score. And I felt like Cal was taking a little bit too much time in their approach. There needed to be more of a sense of urgency of getting in and out of the huddle, plays called, and executing and running them.
Especially with no timeouts. Drones takes a knee.
That is the end of regulation.
And we play on. Overtime down in Blacksburg. Cal with the ball first. Virginia Tech won the toss and chose defense. Bears bowl eligible with a win. Sangapolatele delivers a strike. Touchdown Mini on the first play of overtime.
I tell you what, he makes it look easy. They go 2 high safeties, and he is able to surgically put this ball in to his tight end, who's working the middle of the field. Safety to that side is late. And what a throw by the true freshman, Sangapolatele.
Cal tight ends have 5 of the team's 12 receiving touchdowns. The PAT is good. So Cal leads by 7. Hokies now with a chance. They need a touchdown to extend this game.
What a throw.
What a game.
It's just between the 2 safeties. I mean, the safety split, and all of a sudden Mini from his tight end spot finds the middle of the field, and he didn't have to ask for it or get the attention of his quarterback. It was already in the air.
How do we get here? Virginia Tech led 10-0 early. Cal closed the first half with 20 unanswered. Virginia Tech and came back with 17 unanswered to take the lead before Cal tied it up to send the game into overtime. Cal scored on its first possession. Now drones and this offense. Here comes Hawkins, changing directions, slips the tackle and goes out of bounds, driven out by T.J. Bush.
T.J. Bush decided to wear shorts tonight on a cold night in Blacksburg, Virginia. Giving chase right there, making a nice play, getting Hawkins out of bounds.
Those are not regulation length shorts.
Oh, he took the scissors to those babies.
2nd and 2. Drones on the zone read with a first down. Dragging defenders. Touchdown, Virginia Tech. 2nd rushing touchdown for Drones.
Again,
the kick team will come on to send it to a 2nd overtime.
Again, Anish, just the 2 linebackers makes it easy to kind of wall them off. Inside, they take a false step up because of the play fake, and Forelli is not able to get himself back out and in position to make the play. Drone's just too big and too strong.
And it just drags Cam Sidney into the end zone. Now it's Love to send it to his 2nd OT. Didn't take long for either team. Hokies have rolled up 345 rushing yards. We play on.
For Virginia Tech to send us to a second overtime.
Virginia Tech gets the ball first in double overtime. A touchdown means you have to go for 2. Drones gets a block from his tight end.
The same play they've been running over and over. I bet they've run it close to about 8 times in a row because of the alignment of Cal defensively. 2 linebackers, you can't get outside, or defensively you can't get outside to defend it, and they're just making a living with it. Trying their best to move Jordan Sanford down into the box to help out.
A 1 high safety look. They stick with the run. And it's a first down run by Terrion Stewart.
Well, the defense is designed to handle things that are inside, but once you give a play fake and the linebackers bite up, then now they're out of position if Drones decides to pull it, and that's what he's done continuously in the run game for Virginia Tech here in the second half and in the overtime.
356 rushing yards for Virginia Tech. Movement.
Aiden Lynch, the right tackle, is going to get whistled
False
for
start. Offense number 76. 5-yard penalty. It's still first down.
The old head just dropped right away. He knew exactly while the whistles were being blown. Oh, what a game. What a game.
First time in a long time, Virginia Tech behind the chains. Guess what? It's another run. And Drones gets wrapped up by Taggart. Not much on the play, second down.
Nice job by Taggart. Uluave making his way there as well from his linebacker spot, but that's a heck of a tackle by Taggart.
Virginia Tech has run the football on 19 of its last 20 plays. They have thrown it once since the start of the fourth quarter.
A lot of it's been the same play.
Now they throw. Gosnell inside the 10. It brings up third down.
Makes it a manageable situation when you're having to fight out of 1st and 15 and you get to third down and third and about 3 yards or so here for Virginia Tech. That is big time overcoming a false start penalty. Now you're back on schedule.
Stay with the run.
I'd go right back to that Drones outside run because of the alignment of where Cal's set up here.
Gosnell in motion. Drones will throw to the end zone. And it's caught by Heath for a touchdown. Now Virginia Tech has to go for 2.
What a throw. Right over the outstretched hands of the linebackers. You see him take the false step up, having to defend the run. And it's Taggart who was to his side, and they slip one in. This time I think that one's gonna stand. Drones has played some game, hadn't he? Rushing the football along with a couple of touchdown passes.
3 touchdown passes against a Cal defense that had given up 4 touchdown passes all season coming into Friday night. And he's run for 2 others.
As you mentioned earlier, got to go for 2 here in the second overtime.
Do they put it in the air given how good this run game has been?
I would give it to 27 and let the offensive line do their job.
And Virginia Tech calls a timeout.
Virginia Tech.
Yeah, they were sort of misaligned.
It will be 30 seconds.
Had to take that timeout to figure things out.
The Hokies 0 for 3 on 2-point conversions this season. We remind you, Sports Center is next with Nicole Briscoe and Michael Eaves. Full recap of Game 1 of the World Series between the Dodgers and Blue Jays, plus North Texas. Their quarterback, Drew Mestamaker, put up Andre Ware numbers tonight, and this one is far from over. Cal is still going to get the ball back here in overtime number 2.
Boy, what a story, Mestamaker.
The North Texas quarterback who never started a game as a varsity quarterback in high school. Drones tonight, 119, 3 TDs through the air, 137 on the ground. A 2-point conversion here in overtime number 2. He'll run, and he's in.
Same play. They've run it the entire second half and here in overtime, and Cal has yet to figure out how to stop it. Once you get the linebackers to take a false step up here and here because of the action right here, now that allows Drones to step outside. The false step up, taking the play fake, and now it's just one-on-one with a 235-pound quarterback. Not a lot of defenders are going to win that battle close to the goal line.
Left guard Leif Ganem limped off the field after that 2-point conversion.
And they're awaking the Sandman.
Incomplete.
Right, pressured by Kevin Gilliam Jr. Both he and Kamari Copeland, 2 guys on the inside, have been just dominant throughout this game. Constant pressure. Copeland, they've played inside as well as outside at defensive end, and he's gotten pressure in both spots.
Sangapolatele hit through the hands of Jordan King.
Jordan King was thinking about the hit, and I tell you what, there's a flag down. The quarterback got hit late, but there may be a hit late on Jordan King as well that is going to give Cal a first down and a bunch of yardage here.
Personal foul, targeting, defense number 11. The play is under further review.
It's Tyson Flowers, one of the safeties. That's another one in the drop category. Should have been a catch and a touchdown.
We will check in with the ACC Game Day Operations Center.
Tim, are you here?
Yeah, gentlemen, the ruling on the field is targeting a defenseless player.
Definitely defenseless. Here's the hit.
Replay B.
It's not, there's no real indicator. There's no launch.
You got this on B if you want it, Steve.
And we're shoulder to shoulder. This is enough to be able to overturn.
Okay, overturn.
11 can stay in the game.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You good on previous stuff?
Yeah, previous.
Cool.
After further review, there is no foul for targeting. Number 11 may remain in the game.
Matt Austin, that looked pretty clear like a no targeting.
I agree it's no targeting, but I think it should have been a personal foul. There was absolutely no reason for that hit at all. He took about 3 steps, lowered his head. I wish it would have been called a personal foul with targeting, so at least they would have had the foul added on, because that was a totally unnecessary hit.
A new wrinkle to the rule a few years ago. Now the penalty comes off. 3rd down. Sangapolatele tripped, gets rid of the ball, incomplete. 4th down, 4th in the ball game.
I'll tell you what, Kelvin Gilliam Jr. has played some
Moving on the
game.
field is an incomplete pass.
That is a 295-pound, 300-pounder chasing down Sanga Politelli and tripping him up before he could accurately get the ball out of his hands.
Charge timeout. Cal, their first and final of the period. It will be 30 seconds.
Cal trying to quiet the deafening roar of Metallica playing after every sequence.
They're singing it through the timeout. They're in a person in the stands sitting right now that's a Virginia Tech fan. They all feel it. They are all trying to will their team to the finish line.
The guy over the last few weeks who's come up with big catches on 3rd and long, now you're in 4th and 10, has been Jordan King. Number 4 in white. He's lined up in the slot.
As well as to the side of DeJesus, who's outside of him.
Bottom of your screen.
Trying to draw Virginia Tech off sides. And right over the center is Gilliam.
Downfield, contested throw, incomplete, no flags. Virginia Tech wins it in double overtime.